going to actually do anything. We got the blind. His follow-up in Akash looking for Lompico. Will not be able to do it. Oh! All right, guys. We're back for game number 2. And this one's going to be a real spicy one. We're going over to Braxis Holdout. This is another map that we very rarely see and chosen by Make 7 Up Years. And we'll see the white main banned out once again. We'll get Rainer banned as he proved his worth in spades last time around. Now, the Genji and Asmodin have been banned out as well. I don't believe Asmodin is actually a worthwhile ban on this map in general. Yes, you can dunk, but it's not very effective, I feel. And we're going to get Urel and Gul'dan. So Gul'dan is a monster in the right hands. He showed not enough effectiveness in the Western Clash. Now, in the Eastern Clash, on the other hand, let's take a look how he did there. Because the meta was basically he was tried 3 times in Western Clash and failed every single time with, well, every single time with, where is it? He failed every single time he was played in the Western Clash, so he went 0 for 3. In the Eastern Clash, however, we take a look at what heroes were played. We're going to see Gul'dan picked up a 1 time and he lost. So Gul'dan has been effectively relegated to non-existence in the meta. Now, whether or not that's really where he belongs is entirely another story. But based on how he's performed, he has been less than exciting. Now, with the Kharazim and Phoenix here, this is a pretty spicy draft. Kharazim to dive onto the Gul'dan just to get on him and slap him in the face would be pretty interesting. The problem is he's not very good at sustaining. So really all they have to do on Make 7 Up Yours is get a sustain healer, burn through Kharazim's healing with the Gul'dan, and you win. Because Kharazim will not be able to heal once the objective is up and available. We're going to get an old school one here. Aurel with the Gul'dan, so infinite heals, and Hanzo. I don't know how I feel about the Hanzo. Yes, he can technically poke all the time, but it takes a little while for him to ramp up. Now, tanks, they have a Muradin who's available. They can also take Diablo. Or sorry, Muradin's been banned. My fault there. Diablo, who would be great here. And they're going to pick up, once again, a single tank, which means that they're probably going to be ran over again. Because that's how the meta is. You have 2 warriors. They can tank through enough damage. Kharazim will not be able to save them. And with that, they're going to pick up the Garage. So Phoenix could be taunted in place and stuck and killed. Kharazim could be tossed back. He can Q, but then he can also be taunted right on back. So solo lane is either going to be the Falstad or the Phoenix. Really depends on how they want to play this, because Phoenix is a very strong solo lane. Now, traditionally, he's not being played as a solo laner anymore because most teams realize that by putting him in the solo lane, you put your second melee in the 4-man, which means that you only have 1 ranged damage dealer and you take an infinite amount of poke damage. So, based on the performance from last game, I'm going to say that this game is going to go over to Make 7 Up Yours. So for starters, there's a lack of a second tank, which is a huge detriment, and I think is going to result in pretty much a reminder to 10 armor that you should play with your namesake, which is having people who are beefy and have armor. Well, although armor's already been removed from basically everyone. But with that being said, let's jump on into the game. We got Lompico on that Kharazim. We got Yummy Cupcake on the Falstad. We got Dav on the Johanna. Jestrin on the Jaina. And finally, we got Dagny on the Phoenix. And that is going to be 10 armor. On the other side, we got 7 up years on the Urel. We have Sukiyaki on the Hanzo. Akash on the Gul'dan. We got Tribulation on the Garrosh. And finally, Funk Panda on the Orel. Now, no one wants to poke their head out. They have to face a Garrosh. And we have Sukiyaki who can drop an arrow. We're going to see the Arsenal Synergy, Fingers of Frost, the Laws of Hope, the Seasoned Marksman, and the Iron Fist. On the other side, we get the Echo Corruption, the Swift Strike, the Swift Sweep. Nice throw on back to Yummy Cupcake. There is no taunt at this point, but they chunk him down heavily. Tribulation will be fine. And the arrow meets its mark onto Falstad, and we're getting ourselves some fried chicken tonight, boys. We also have the Simple Geometry already at 6 stacks, and finally the Warbreaker. Now, top lane being pushed in by 7 up years, Dagny can definitely trade in to some degree. He has to avoid all of those jumps, and 7 up years can definitely heal up a lot as well. Nice double Groundbreaker. Jestrin taking a lot of damage, the knockback, and the heals there to keep Akash ready to roll. They'll be tapping things up before they start the next engagement here. Always stay healthy. It's kind of like, keep yourself refreshed. Stay hydrated, bot. People need essentially a stay healthy bot, or drink that sippy well. Tribulation, beautiful play here. Just sitting in the bush waiting for the team. A beautiful combo and the knockback. Funk Panda laying down the funky old beat of the death of Falstad. Top lane rotated to Urel, going to go and pick up that globe, and with that they know they can't hold bottom, but they've completely forfeited it at this point. Gul'dan's going to push this out. They can pick up the Merc camps if they so wish, which is what they're going to do, instead of trying to fight over the top, because the map plays very differently in my opinion based on how you control these beacons. Now, these beacons are instantly contested when you walk back on them despite someone sitting on them, which means that at this point it basically creates a situation where the progress is very easy to stop, but getting the lane pressure is not very easy to stop. And you can see that happening immediately. We have the camp here pushing on in. We got Dagny down bottom. And this time around, Yummy Cupcakes. Yummy Cupcakes going to be knocked on back. Should be able to barrel roll away, maybe. And a 7 up yours wins that trade. Sukiyaki going to take a boatload of damage from Jestrin. Going to be able to back out. However, the Groundbreaker onto Dab. No toss on back available. And that... Ooh, Dagny getting heavily chunked down. Taking a look at the stacks there, 12 out of 40 at this point. For Groundbreaker, we have ourselves 8, 13, 5, and 1. Tribulation going to be whipping that Groundbreaker, unfortunately, but Jestrin taking a lot of damage. Akash being able to heal up his team, essentially. And Funk Panda ready to drop a big heal. There's no way they can actually contest it. Lampago going in. And that's a madman move right there as he gets easily out-traded. And, oh, Dagny just managing to stay alive here. Sukiyaki. This man is a math genius. 4,000 IQ. Sukiyaki. He doesn't just know how to use Scattershot. He is Scattershot. When Blizzard coded Hanzo, they basically asked, Sukiyaki, will you allow us to put you in the game? And Sukiyaki agreed. So, big old wave here. Tribulation going on in deep, looking for someone to toss on in. They will have the 7 advantage here. And 6, 7, and a wave. This is a huge, huge advantage. They're looking for it. Dav making a very nice play there, stopping him. And Lapico looking for the kill, but the heal is ready to go very shortly here from Funk Panda. And they can continue aggressing in. Dagny chunked on down. There will be a no taunt ready to go. But Tribulation survives and Dav does not. Make 7 up years, showing that they are a force to be reckoned with. I'm not actually even sure this is the appropriate league for him based on how they've performed in this game and another game that I've also casted of theirs versus uh, Lurk Patrol. Although, to be fair, Lurk Patrol is near the bottom of the standing, so that's not necessarily the most representative. Tin Armor is 4-2 so far in this season, which means they should be a much closer opponent for Make 7 Up Yours. But at this point, Make 7 Up Yours is making a big statement about how good of a team they really are. We'll have a bot camp picked up, a top camp picked up, and honestly, this is about the same for both. We have, however, Hanzo dropping out of the game, Sukiyaki. They'll probably need the pause here. They have yet to pause. In case you didn't know, technically it's up to the players to do this. Hanzo getting low. He will jump on over, dropping the Sonic Arrow in no man's land, and they don't even care. They basically are like, we can play with a bot. They don't even seem to realize this. Or maybe they do. Simple geometry has been completed. Hanzo is still a bot. Dagny taking a lot of damage. And in bot lane, we have Urel all alone, soaking the snot out of it. So 10s are around the corner. This front wall will definitely get him very close to getting there. And Hanzo still botting it up in the meantime. Yummy Cupcake finally coming on down here to match the soak. Taking a look at the talents we have, we will have the machine gun builds coming on out from Jestren. The pull from Dav, not going to commit to very much there. Hanzo still a bot, but they don't care. We have Arsenal Synergy, the inhibiting energy, and the combat advantage. There's the flank. They're looking for the Hanzo kill on the bot. Akash going to be thrown actually out. So sorry, that was Akash being focused down there. And yeah, everyone's alive and dandy still. Very nice flank there, but not enough in the tank to really take them down there. So looking at where we're at, 32 stacks. We have Simple Geometry completed, 12 out of 15. Fingers of Frost almost completed as well. We have Tribulation who needs to back on up. 10's about to be hit. This is not the time you want to go down, and just let Funk Panda heal you up with all of that free hope that Akash generates. It's kind of ironic that Gul'dan is kind of the opposite of hope in World of Warcraft and is one of the best generators for Aurel. Hanzo just going to get over the wall, but then immediately died. The heal is going to be there to keep Tribulation up, and there, oh, Tribulation almost going to go down there. So bot lane still being shoved on in. Bot is still not actually Sukiyaki, and we're going to get 7 up years rotating up, it looks like, at this point. Are they? They're going to actually take the camp and keep the pressure on? I'm a little concerned that they don't know what to do here, only because of the fact that they have a bot and they can actually pause this anytime they so chose. 7 up here is coming on in, going to jump on the head of Jestren. Jestren will get peeled for by Dav. Very nicely done, but the taunt onto Lompico will be enough, and that is one down. 7 up here is looking for Dagny, and Dav will be a knocked on back, but no Funk Panda action today. But smashing some Goombas, a 7 up years, a fan of Nintendo, and proving that he can. Oh my god, Jestren just managing to survive less than 10 HP. But the poison's a little bit too much there. And at this point, make 7 up years, making a strong case that they can win 4v5 essentially with a bot. Now, top is down. Sukiyaki finally going to be trying to rejoin here, but they should 100% get this fort. And without the fort and the well, Yummy Cupcake coming on in, the gust. But Tribulation is there. They do have the taunt available and the heal. There comes the Aegis to keep him up, but no heal in time for Akash and the bot. And they are going to lose all 4 members here. Very nice play from Yummy Cupcake coming on in, swooping in from the skies and making the plays. Now, the good news, it's 44%. So even if they get the rest of this, this is still going to be a fairly large wave for the side of Make 7 Up Yours. However, they are going to lose everything. As you can see, the map is being painted blue, with 7-up years, I'm making the great play of being able to stop that. Oh, look at that damage from Akash, chunking them all down about 50%, which now, oh, 7-up years, where are you going? Already down to 60% there. So top will be recapped very quickly. They'll be able to fight as a 5-man. Ardent Defender is available very shortly as well. So we now have Sukiyaki back in the fray, and with that, it's no longer a bot. And remember, Sukiyaki is Hanzo, so should be able to do quite well now. 13's around the corner, and this is going to be a very small window to capitalize on it. And really, they're probably not going to get the opportunity to do so in most cases. Now that everyone is rotating up, they should be able to fight this as a 5-man, but they're going to play Ring Around the Rosie most likely. We do have Phoenix here, but this is actually a 5v4 right now. This is very bad for him. They don't know that 7-up yours is here. There he comes on in, knocking back Yummy Cupcake, and there they go. The damage, they should have the Gus ready to go, but the arrow from Sukiyaki is going to be good. Akash dropping the fear, but Purification Salvo coming on now. The damage is there. The taunt trying to save the day, but Akash will be going down, and it is a 2-for-0. And make that a 3. It's a triple, baby. And now, well, they might even get a 4th, and no. So, making 7-up years is showing the impossible is possible here. They took their lead and essentially have thrown it away. They've walked all the way up to here with their first wave, and are now going to get both Bossed and Zerged wave simultaneously, which is not exactly the best scenario. Because on top of that, there's 2 lanes that they have to deal with. Although this will potentially get cleared by the Zerg wave, or the Zerg wave will hold the boss here in the meantime. And Akash does do a ton of damage to the Zerg wave with Echoed Corruption. So they have completed the corruption. They almost have Warbreaker down and ready to go. Dagny doesn't really have anyone there, but Lompico coming on in. Ardent Defender is not available. Water Elemental coming with a big flank, but the toss on back onto Yummy Cupcake. But Yummy Cupcake will manage to survive. The Purification Salvo coming on out. Funk Panda just manages to survive, as does Akash and Tribulation. The big hill ready to go. Tribulation does get the tap ready to go, and this could very well be keep if they misplay their cards. Their 7-up here is going on in deep. Doesn't have Ardent Defender, but the Warbreaker is going to save the day. We'll be able to jump on out. Funk Panda will be able to heal them up really quickly. Dragon's Arrow going to only hit 1 onto Jester, and they're looking for Jaina's booty, but 7-up yours getting stuck in there, and they have nothing else. Sukiyaki trying to get the solo kill, and instead Dav will find himself in no man's land on an island with Wilson in tow. Now, this is insane. 10 Armor has taken the game back into their control. They now have the first keep the game down. And Tribulation doing a very nice job sitting in the bush, keeping vision for his team. And this gives them a small window of opportunity to start picking up some camps and trying to get some control back on the map and denying the enemy team camp. Now, they have to keep this shoved in because, remember, catapults are now being spawned here, and they have a smallish window of opportunity on the side of 10 Armor to actually fight them before make 7-up years before they hit 10. I'm not sure they will find that opportunity, as there's a lot of XP in this top wave, which 7-up years is about to go. So in the meantime, they'll clear up this camp. The invade attempt from the side of 10 Armor is not bad. Oh, they're still going to be coming in. They do have vision here. And, oh my, what are they doing? They're staying here way too long. Blessed Shield is coming on now. Kosh taking a bunch of damage. There's the Unstoppable. Age is going to be coming out early. We got 7-up here sitting on the point, and they have taken down the Falstad first, but Tribulation is now down for the count. We do have the Ardent Defender ready to go, but it'll be interrupted. 7-up years will get on over that wall, and it's a 1-for-1 trade. We have Ardent Defender still up and available. Gust and Palm are also available. However, it is a trade for a tank and DPS. It's a little bit better to keep their main tank here on the side of 10 armor because of the fact that they only have one of them. Now, Merc's camps pushing on in bot lane, helping to relieve the situation. And are they actually trying to invade? No, they're going to just set up on the point here, get themselves some vision. I don't really like the fact that Akash just burnt corruption, really. I mean, if you use it and then they come, you're going to have a big cooldown down. He does have Bound by Shadow, and he does have Bell Armor. So every time he Qs, he'll get more cooldown reduction on his corruption. Nice positioning here. Tribulation is taking the lead. 7-up years there as well. And they're going to play a ring around the Rosie just a little bit. Okay, this is going to be the game-defining fight. There they go. Dagny very far forward. The Gust is going to be coming on out. Only gets Sukiyaki. The Purification Salvo, the Blessed Shield. There comes the Aegis. Going to save Sukiyaki for now. Akash trapped under the Blizzard. And there's the taunt. Sukiyaki is going to trade 1-for-1. Tribulation about to be going down here. 7-up years. Does not have long for this world in a 4-man wipe. So 4-man wipe, and it looks like they will be potentially marching to this core. And you'll see the toss on back. They get the knockback on Johanna, but they blow a lot of cooldowns on it. And then immediately, Akash is in a poor position. No healing is dropping to save Akash until a little bit too late. And, well, there's only one member left here to try and save the core. We have 2 seconds before Gul'dan is up, but I do not think they'll have it in them to actually win this. The arrow coming on out, Purification Salvo, but there's literally nothing left to do here except say GG. I think it was a critical mistake that they got insanely cocky, it felt like, and didn't hit the pause button for Sukiyaki. And when they didn't hit the pause button, they just were kind of YOLOing it. If we take a look at the total damage done, we're going to see Akash did a boatload. Chestrin did quite a boatload as well. And really, one of the big problems I noticed was that Akash was underneath the Blizzard multiple times, trying to drain through it to survive. But the Blizzard was just a little bit too strong to keep him from healing up there. Sukiyaki did a lot of damage as well, 45k, and really Dagny didn't do that much when you look at it in the picture of the grand scheme of having Jaina slows, Johanna slows, and Purification Salvo. He didn't actually get out that much damage overall, so not necessarily the best over there. I mean, Falstad definitely did not give us the best showing here. We have nearly Johanna putting out the same damage as Falstad. Not exactly what you want to see there. The fights went super sloppy for Make 7-up years, and they went great later on in the game for 10 armor. Now, if we look at the healing done overall, this is really crazy because she had a great hope generator and still was out healed by Karazim. And Karazim just basically, well, you can't heal. You can't heal when there's your hope generator gone. And at that point, she basically fell behind significantly. And by the fact that they were looking for team fights instead of trying to poke them down with Sukiyaki was a very big mistake. Additionally, a big mistake in that they didn't just let Akash chunk him down and let Lapico fall down to low HP pool. Additionally, he then had an engage, hitting Johanna in the very beginning of that last team fight, flipping her over, which then means all the squishies have nothing to fear. Literally nothing to fear because Garrosh used his abilities on the worst person to actually stop. He threw a Johanna into his team, which means that Johanna is now in a better position to pull in multiple people, hit him with the punish, and hit him with the blessed shield. And yeah, it's definitely a situation of make 7-up yours played right into the hands of 10 armor. 10 armor was in what I'd consider a do or die situation much earlier in the game of facing a repeat. And they came out getting kills, getting multiple kills. And each time they got these multi kills, they just clawed their way further and further, and to the point where they got themselves the lead. And when they got the lead, it was actually Make 7-up yours who was looking very shaky. Like they've had their confidence completely pulled out from under them once 10 armor showed that, well, they didn't go 4-2 so far this season without being a respectable team. And two, they've had 2 dominations on top of that, which means 2 series have gone completely in their favor. And obviously, third one going completely not in their favor. But nonetheless, it shows that they definitely are not out of place being up against Make 7-up yours. They're more than qualified, and they're definitely more than confident at being able to claw their way back into a game from behind. Additionally, taking a look at the talents, we're going to see machine gun build, which is what they should have had in the first game, 100%. We're going to see Dagny with, it looks like, a little bit of an interesting build. I don't play much Phoenix, but this does not look like the traditional build. We're going to also have the Seasoned Marksman, Hammer Gains across the board, Airy Gust being picked up here. And then finally Iron Fist with the Spirit Ally, the Blinding Speed, the Divine Palm, Fist of Fury, and Echo of Heaven. This is interesting because you often, this is like a weird combination of DPS and healing. You're going to see the Fist of Fury in here and the Echo of Heaven for the additional healing output, alongside the Spirit Ally and the additional charges for the Radiant Dash. So it's like a really weird mix for Lompico. On the other side, Akash picked up the Bound by Shadow instead of the Hunger for Power, which gives him a bigger drain life, and it also gives his Corruption more total DPS. In terms of, it's definitely, if the more people you landed on, the more value you get out of Hunger for Power. And the other side of it is Bound by Shadow. If you're getting close enough to use it without the level 1 Q, odds are you're only hitting maybe 1, maybe 2 people at best. And so you don't get out usually enough Fell Flames to reduce the cooldown enough where Hunger for Power isn't just better. Other side, we had the Heavy Burden. No Detainment Strike. I actually think Detainment Strike is... oh wait, sorry, the quest. I can't remember the quest talent because it's been a while since we've seen her. There's a quest talent that is much better, in my opinion. The extra damage it does, it just has everything baked into it, the way that you want her Detainment Strike to actually behave. So I think Funk Panda definitely needed that. We had the Glimmer of Hope. Collecting a Regen Globe this is a pretty interesting talent. I think it's underrated in a lot of cases and can really increase her healing output significantly. And this is why their team, it didn't make sense. They had a Glimmer of Hope build here. They were running into the enemy team when there's no way Karazim can heal as much as Funk Panda should. With the Glimmer of Hope, you drop a heal, wait 4 seconds, and drop another full heal, basically, and your team should be full life. So you just keep poking them, but they weren't trying to poke them, which is the crazy part. and obviously resulted in said situation. We also had the Maraud's Insight, Aegis of Light, the Holy Avenger, and Ardent Defender, the Aldor Peacekeeper, and finally Holy Wrath there. Then we had the Simple Geometry with Explosive Arrows, Never Outmatched, Dragon's Arrow, Fleet of Foot, and finally the Piercing Arrows. Other side, we had the normal Garage build. Although double up is usually not picked, I feel. Most people pick defensive measures with the Warbreaker because the shield will scale with the armor, which means it gets more and more valuable, especially when you complete the quest and can get more shields out. So, very good job from 10 armor with that comeback. I kind of dismissed them thinking that they would be ran over. It didn't happen. It also wasn't played right from Make 7 Up Yours, in my opinion. But so that is pretty hilarious. We may have yelled esports after every gust. I definitely got to say, Yummy Cupcake made some really good gust plays. And I got to give credit where credit's due there. Yes, Yummy Cupcake wasn't doing effective damage because he died so much. And so Johanna basically was doing as much damage, but the plays being made by Yummy were definitely on point. Now, yeah, 10 armor coming on through, and some builds are interesting. I'm not sure this is really the build to go, especially with a Garage and Urel. Getting the cleanse to get them out of a stun or a stun or a stun, and the slow could be much better, along with the quick what is it, Quicksilver Dash, I believe, to give the additional movement speed to get in and out, especially with all these squishy heroes who might need to get the movement speed to position correctly. And I'm not quite sure about the Phoenix build. Something seems off here, I feel like. So definitely should take a look at that in the future. Otherwise, and also Holy Fury. Holy Fury is definitely not the choice, in my opinion. You can go Blessed. You can go the Blessed Hammers or Punish. Punish being solid when you can get several people grouped up. Hammers being good if you can't necessarily get to their backline. You can definitely like try and poke them with the hammers. So congratulations to both teams on securing a victory. And I'm going to pop on